Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews, and on our journey to Jurassic World Dominion, this is part 2 of all my reviews of the Jurassic Park and World movies. Today we're going to be reviewing Lost World Jurassic Park, the sequel to Jurassic Park, which was directed by Steven Spielberg and has Dr. Ian Malcolm as the protagonist. Let's get talking about it. So, big surprise, this movie is actually directed by Steven Spielberg, which usually doesn't happen with these sort of movies and Steven Spielberg, but that's nice. You have some returning cast members with the guy that created Jurassic Park. The two kids from the first one get a brief cameo, and then Dr. Ian Malcolm as the main character. And let me just say this. When you're going to have a sequel to one of the best movies of all time, it's usually not too very good. Like Jaws. They made 4 Jaws movies. I don't think anybody even knew that there was any. Bunch of movies like that. Sometimes Terminator. Does anybody even know the Terminator sequels after Terminator 2? But still, Jurassic Park 2, I think, gets nowhere near as good as the first one. But is still a very, very underrated and fun movie, in my opinion. Because what do you do after being introduced to dinosaurs, seeing these reactions? I think you could have some fun. Steven Spielberg gave a pretty good plot and pretty good character arc story that I really enjoy. This movie really picks up when we get to the dinosaurs because it could give you a lot more carnage and higher body count, and it's awesome. So starting the movie off, like the opening scene is this cruise of wife, husband, like this rich people, and this girl runs into these tiny, like, I want to say 6-inch tall dinosaurs. And she thinks there's little birds or something, and they start attacking her. And she's screaming, and her mom comes, and she screams, and that's the beginning of the movie. I think it's even better than the first scene of Jurassic Park. I'm serious when I say that. Like, this scene is actually terrifying. This little girl is being attacked by these things, and just the thought of them biting you in certain places, just biting you here and there to just sort of wear you down, and then they'll murder you and attack you like a bunch of piranhas, on-land piranhas. They're terrifying. And then we go to our main character, Dr. Ian Malcolm, who he's going to the guy that created Jurassic Park, and he sees the 2 kids from the first movie. They get a brief cameo, and then the guy that created Jurassic Park is basically like, there was another island 80 miles in a different direction from the main island, and we left the dinosaurs there, and they've been breeding, and they've been existing, and they've been coexisting and been doing great. And so we want, the government doesn't believe us, so they were trying to take over the island. So I need you to go there with these 3 other people to take pictures and document and prove that there's actually dinosaurs there. Not the greatest plot, but Dr. Ian Malcolm, or the greatest plan, but Dr. Ian Malcolm is like, no, I'm just going to call him Ian. So, moving on from there, the guy that created Jurassic Park is basically like, hey, your girlfriend's there. And so, Ian, boom, he's leaving, but then his daughter, who I guess he divorced her mom, which seems like Dr. Ian Malcolm, and she wants to go, so she sneaks on, and then you have a bunch of people going there. And I would say his girlfriend is the least likable person in the movie, because she's not the least likable, but my least favorite, because she's just so stupid in so many situations, even though she's like a great scientist or something. But it does sort of like recreate the cast from the first movie, where you have the cocky scientist, you have the cautious guy, you have the the girl character that really cares about dinosaurs. So it sort of recreates that. And you get some great images of dinosaurs with Triceratops, and then we have these government people that are taking over the island, and this hunting guy who wants to just kill Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I actually really enjoy this guy. Like, he's fun. You also have this really nice guy who gets killed later in the movie. He's one of my favorite characters too. And this movie really showcases the T-Rex. It's awesome in this movie. Both of them. There's two of them. And I really enjoy the themes of kids in this movie, where you have Ian has his daughter that he's trying to take care of. There's the two T-Rexes that have their baby T-Rex. You have baby Triceratops. You have a bunch of baby dinosaurs, and that wasn't really in the first movie because obviously in the first movie they had them that they were all girls, but then they had the borrowed genes from frogs, which some frogs changed their gender, so it makes sense in the first movie. And now in the second movie it makes sense. Steven Spielberg has some great scenes here, and I really do enjoy this movie. It's really fun. Like, after this one scene where it gets muddy, the hunter guy takes the baby T-Rex, tries to draw out the mom, and then chaos ensues. They try to save the baby T-Rex. Should I say Ian's girlfriend, who, very annoying. She brings it into this cart, and then this is my favorite scene in the entire movie, sequence in the entire movie, where you have these two dinosaurs trying to find their baby, the T-Rexes, and you have them attacking the car, pushing it over after they get their baby T-Rex, which they had patched up its leg, and then they start pushing the car over, and then they sort of leave. So the nice guy gets in this car, he starts wrenching all this, it's like a two-for RV sort of style thing, and he's trying to pull it off of the cliff, and there's like glass, and Ian's girlfriend's there. She's not so unlikable that I'm like, I want you to die, but she's just really, she makes some dumb mistakes, but you have glass and they're trying to save her. It's really well done. Like, the phone falls on, that they're trying to contact people with, falls on the glass and it breaks, and they have to pull her up, and then the guy who's been trying to save them gets torn in two by two parent dinosaurs, and then they push the car over, which surprisingly they're in the middle of the car, and it's like open on both sides, and it just goes through. They go through the car as it's going down, so they survive, and then they climb up on a rope, and as soon as they climb up, all the military guys show up. So the nice guy, who I enjoyed quite a bit, who was trying to save them, got ripped apart like literally a minute before he could have been saved. So that's pretty frustrating, but still, you don't really care about any of the characters in here except for Ian, and then I care about the hunter guy. He's actually pretty interesting to me. And then the hunter guy, I guess the guy who made Jurassic Park's nephew is trying to come with them, and their idea is to capture a bunch of dinosaurs and to put them on the mainland in San Francisco, California, because people don't want to go all the way to an island. And if you think about it, Steven Spielberg, that's an actually good idea. On the surface, it seems like, come on, this is just a setup so that we could get dinosaurs in San Francisco. But if you think about it, say there's a dinosaur park somewhere, are you considering flying all the way out in the middle of the ocean to find it? Or it's on the mainland, you could just drive there. It's very convenient. It's actually a brilliant idea right there, and I really enjoy that, even though it's a bit underrated and you don't usually think about it in this plot. And then we move on to just chaos ensues when, once again, the woman, Ian's girlfriend, leaves her shirt, which has baby T-Rex blood on it, in her open tent. And so the dinosaur comes in, gets in their open tent, and somehow she doesn't get killed along with Ian's daughter. But also they were safe, Ian's daughter and like the business guy, because they were in these lifts that they had. And then another thing, this guy who'd been sort of zapping the little dinosaur things that are like 6 inches tall that terrorized the girl in the beginning, who they said survived, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be missing a few limbs or extremely injured. So he's going to use the bathroom, and then he tells this guy, hey man, call back to me so that I don't get lost. And then the guy's got headphones on, and so he doesn't hear him. And so the guy sees these dinosaurs, and they start attacking him, and then they let him go, and then he's sort of yelling at them, but there's so many of them that they're just attacking him, and then eventually they just wear him down because there's so many of them, and so he's just one person, and so he's tired out. He falls down, and then they attack him. He gets back up. He's zapping them, and then they get him so much that he dies, and so gruesome. They don't go full hard R, but they show like they all attack him, and then there's blood running down in the stream. So that was nice. And then you get, when stuff really picks up, the T-Rex gets in there, and literally like everybody's running in the camp, where you have all these military guys, you have the scientists that are going there to just take pictures and watch the dinosaurs, and you have just these awesome scenes like this guy's being run over by everybody, and then Tyrannosaurus Rex just steps on him, the guy's crushed, and just all this stuff with like nature expert guy. A snake gets on him when they're waiting, and the dinosaur's right there, and they're the dinosaur T-Rex can't get in there, and he starts screaming like ah, because there's a snake going down his back. I think it's a milk snake, and then he just goes into the dinosaur's mouth and gets eaten. You get this really cool scene with raptors just attacking all these guys. The raptors look awesome. T-Rexes look awesome in this movie. I really enjoyed the kills, the gnarly kills. And then we just get a bunch more of the raptor stuff, where the cheesiest moment in the entire movie, there was this thing where the girl's like, yeah, I got kicked off the acrobat team, and so gymnastics team, and so she does like swing around a thing and kicks a raptor out of a window, and then it falls onto a spike and dies. That is like the stupidest moment that we've gotten in all of Jurassic Park so far, because first off, there's no way that her weight would be able to push this dinosaur. I don't think so. This dinosaur, which probably weighs over 100 pounds, out of a window and then just on a spike. But oh well, it's corny, stupid sort of fun that I just really do enjoy, even though I know this isn't that great of a movie, but I have a ton of fun with it, even though it is directed by Steven Spielberg. It has some great sequences. And so the hunter guy tranquilizes the T-Rex, and they get the baby, they get the main T-Rex, and they survive the raptors by, she kicks one out the window, and then the rest of them just get away in the car, and then seems like the movie's over, basically. But no, somehow, on the way to San Francisco, the ship that the T-Rex and baby T-Rex were on, everybody died out of the blue in the middle of the ocean with the dinosaur. The T-Rex is still in the bottom, still stuck in there. It's obviously hasn't gotten out. It is like a humongous plot hole in the movie, and it's just so really I just find it hilarious that just all these severed arms and everybody's dead, but you have no idea how. So just like, really? Oh well, maybe some of the flying dinosaurs eat them, but there's never an explanation for that, so it's a plot hole. But oh well, I don't really care, because we get T-Rex in San Francisco tearing up everything, like eating a dog, and like this kid's like, hey, there's a dinosaur in our yard, and the parents are like, leave us alone, and there's this dinosaur eating the dog. You're like, ah, it's so funny. He's like, people are going super fast, and cars just backing up, crashing into each other. Bus gets pushed in by a T-Rex, and then it just smashes into a Blockbuster. It's just really, really fun to see that. Well, I guess it was a video store, but that doesn't matter. And so they get the baby dinosaur, and the T-Rex gets on the ship, and the evil business guy, our main villain, he comes up, he's taking the baby dinosaur because he wants to use it for the park there, and then the T-Rex sort of chomps his leg, and then the baby T-Rex eats him alive. It's just, yeah, T-Rexes, go. So Lost World Jurassic Park definitely is a worse sequel, but I have a ton of fun with this movie. On the entertainment scale, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Like, seriously, this is such an entertaining movie. And I guess the hunter guy, just thing that I should mention, he decided, hey, his friend got killed, so he's like, I'm done with killing. Even though he gets the T-Rex, he can say he's done it, and he's going home, and you don't see him again. So I enjoy that. But on the entertainment scale, this is a 9 out of 10. Like, seriously, this is so fun. But I'm just going overall score right now, because just it's a bit too complex entertainment overall. But overall, this movie is only I'm gonna have to go an 8 out of 10 for me. Like, I know that's pretty high praise, but I consider this an underrated movie where I could have my dumb blockbuster movies. Like, this is the same genre as the MonsterVerse movies, Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla King of Monsters, King Kong. I think this is better than all of them. This is a very fun, also stupid, but it has some stupid moments, but it is really fun, and I enjoy it. It's an underrated movie, and if you're going through all the Jurassic Park movies like me, you might be like, hey, this isn't as bad as I remember. But now we get to Jurassic Park 3, and then eventually Fallen Kingdom. I don't know which one is worse, but yikes. We'll see. So, see you then. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Leave your comments down below your thoughts on this movie. I want to know, do you agree with me? Is it like an underrated movie that's pretty solid? Or do you disagree and say it's just stupid and you can't get past the plot holes? But, well, like, subscribe to Max Reviews. More reviews coming. I'm probably in New Hampshire now. I'm pre-recording all these. Sometime. It might have even come out yesterday or tomorrow or something. My first reaction to Jurassic World Dominion will come out, so you can look forward to that. Right and out.